Hi, friends. Welcome to Holly's Highlights, a podcast designed to encourage, inspire, and equip you to intentionally live your life full of purpose. I'm your host, Holly Kirby, motivational speaker, leadership cultivator, marketing strategist, and personal cheerleader. Let's check out today's highlight. Let's connect. Simply go over to www.hollykirby.com and sign up for my Holly's Happenings monthly email. We'll have information on updates on what's going on, resources from valuable sponsors, a fabulous recipe each month, and so much more. So head on over to hollykirby.com and sign up for the Holly's Happenings email today. Hello, my friends. I have to confess, this has been the first episode I have been late on. Yep, you're right. It is almost 1 week late, and I really kept thinking each and every day, I can't believe I'm not stopping to do my podcast. But then I had to live by my own advice, and that was be in the moment, prioritize, and what is most important for right now. And you know what? That has been a lot going on, and especially with my children. We have had prom, we've had soccer events, we've had softball going on. It has been a wild and crazy past week, but yet so much fun. So I went ahead and gave myself permission to be in the moment where I was needed most, and that was with my family. Now, another thing I've been very involved in doing is interviews. See, as Director of Culture and Community for the organization I have the pleasure of representing, part of my role is overseeing interviews. Now, for some, the thought is that's a task to be delegated. Well, I look at it a little differently, as who we let in can be one of the biggest detriments to our organization if they're a culture killer, or they could be one of the biggest assets to the organization if they're a culture champion. So why wouldn't I be that line of defense in protecting something so valuable? Well, through these interviews, I have seen it all. You want to know the do's and don'ts of interviewing? I could definitely give you tips and tell you some tells. But one of the biggest concerns I consistently witness firsthand is entitlement. Whether that be the entitlement of, well, I need a job, so just give me one. And I can't work the hours you want me to, but you can work around my schedule. Goodness. To even when interviewing applicants for upper management roles, them telling me that they have no experience, but they should be given the senior position because they want it. Or even the candid, I just want to be the boss. So whatever position that is. Wow. I cannot believe some of the things that I hear. What happened to learning and growing as you climb the ladder, so to speak, or putting in your time? Well, this has got me thinking about one thing that we all have control over in our lives, and that is having a growth mindset. I fully believe, as you've heard me share it before, that we all have something that we can learn each and every day if we'll just be open to learning. Learning from the good and the bad, learning from the young and the old, from the inexperienced and the experienced, from male and female, from those who serve in CEO roles to those who work the most humbling of jobs. But are we willing to show up and grow as we learn from others? Well, my dad and I were driving together the other day talking about our Utah Utes football team, Go Utes, and it got me thinking about two teaching moments on this matter from two of our football coaches. First, our current coach, Coach Whit. Man, is he an incredible football coach. As of today, he's actually been the head coach for University of Utah's football for 19 years, finishing with a winning record in 17 of those 19 years, according to the University of Utah Athletics. But did you know he actually applied for the head coach position the year that his predecessor, Urban Meyer, got the job? Now, already being with the team, that had to have been pretty discouraging for Coach Whittingham. And yet, he stepped up and he gave it his all as the defensive coordinator for Coach Urban Meyer. And as Deseret News reports, Whittingham actually says that that was the best thing that had ever happened to him in his coaching career. Now, he goes on to share that he learned more in those 2 years under Coach Meyer's leadership than he did in his entire coaching career. Now, Coach Whit could have had a negative attitude and caused division or even undermined Coach Meyer, but he didn't. He showed up every single day with a growth mindset, and as a result was better equipped to be a coach. Who can you learn from in your roles? Exactly where you are. Now, maybe that leader at work who has the job you applied for, or maybe that PTA president or booster mom who has a bit more experience and can pass down her knowledge to you. Maybe it's that neighbor down the street who has a green thumb and you can observe him or her and get some pointers for your own yard. Are you willing to show up every day, to be open to learn, to grow, to be better equipped? Second is Coach Urban Meyer himself. He came as head coach and had vision of what the football program at the University of Utah could be. But he didn't just keep it to himself. He shared that vision. He created buy-in for the vision that he had. And as a result, he gained so much support that together, he and his supporters, they were able to see a brand new indoor training facility created. Now, this opened so many doors for potential player prospects. The University of Utah was finally able to compete with drawing some of the best to come play for their team. Now, after his predecessor was let go and leaving the team with a 5-6 record back in 2002, according to KSL Sports, Urban Meyer took it and rebuilt the program to then have a 10-2 record his first year with them, including the team's first conference championship since 1957. Now, that very next year, 2004, I personally had the privilege as a season ticket holder to watch Coach Meyer lead the team to a 12-0 record. And we got to travel to Arizona, where the Utes became the first mid-major school to play in a bowl championship series bowl, the Fiesta Bowl. Oh, it was so much fun. But guess what? Coach Meyer was only there at the University of Utah for a whopping 2 years. Such an impact in such a short amount of time. And unlike many interviews that I seem to have where people tend to comment on how things went downhill after they left or they just couldn't survive without them. No, Coach Meyer set up such an amazing, sustainable program that when he left, he was actually able to pass it on to Coach Whittingham and watch them excel, all while cheering them on, even though he was going on to be head coach somewhere else. Now that's a true leader. Perhaps you're in a season of life where you aren't sure the impact you can have. Maybe you're in that transition and you won't, biblically speaking, enter the promised land. But you can help set up for success those who are meant to do so. My friend, show up each and every day in your season, giving it your all so that when you're no longer in that season, you'll have set up the organization, the school, the program, whatever you were a part of. It can live on without you, but it will be better because you were a part of it. Share the vision. Now, there's 3 takeaways from today I'd encourage for you. First, no matter if you're top dog, assistant to the top dog, or the one filling up the sports drink containers for all the dogs to drink, do all for the glory of God, as 1 Corinthians 10:31 tells us. As you show up every day with a growth mindset to learn from those around you. The second thing would be a boss controls, a manager manages things, but a leader influences people. Which of those do you want to be viewed as by those you work alongside? Now note, you can influence people even without being given the title or the pay. So use your influence in whatever role you have to leave a legacy. Lastly, that third thing, instead of controlling the knowledge, share the vision. There can be a misconception that if I retain the knowledge, I'm more needed by my team. No. Share the vision. Teach them how to do it. Have them come alongside you in accomplishing it. Doing so can help create buy-in, provide sustainability, encourage loyalty, and even help overall retention. There's room for everyone at the table, my friend, so invite them around you to take a seat and share the vision and build it together. Now, if you want to dive deeper, I suggest 2 book resources. One is Creative Followership by Jimmy Collins, where he teaches us that we know a little about something, but there's always something we don't know. And then second book would be Heroes Wanted by Rodney Bullard, where he shares that when we come to the end of ourselves and our strength, we'll finally be useful to God and others, and our story as a hero will truly begin. So whatever you have going on this week, might I challenge you, might I encourage you Try showing up and simply asking, where am I needed? And then plug in, learn from those around you, and give it your best for whatever amount of time you're there. Thank you for joining me on this journey of life. I hope that today's highlight has been encouraging, inspiring, and equipping so you can go out and live your life full of purpose. I'd be honored if you'd take a moment to leave a review, or better yet, subscribe. We can also stay in touch by joining my email list at hollycurby.com. That's HOLLYCURBY.com. Until next time, make it a great day for a great day.